Hi grade 7s, welcome to lesson 5.7, subtracting with mixed numbers. Your learning goal for today is that I will use symbols to subtract with mixed numbers. Just as a quick refresher, let's get into two subtraction example questions just to refresh ourselves. So we have 5/6 subtract 1/2. Well, we can't take away 1/2 from 5/6 because we need a common denominator first. So we need to convert 1/2 into sixes. Okay, so I can multiply 2 times 3 will give me 6. So I can multiply this fraction, top number and bottom number, by 3. So I can rewrite this as 5/6 subtract 3/6. And now I can go ahead and I can make that subtraction. I have common denominators. 5 subtract 3 is 2. So I have 2/6, which actually is the same as 1/3. Okay, because we have to simplify this. We can divide the top number and the bottom number, the numerator and the denominator, both by 2. We can half them. Now, in this case here, we're dealing with 5 2/3, subtract 4. What we can do here is we can just take 5 minus 4. Well, that's 1 2/3. Done. So now we're going to get into some mixed number fractions. So we have 2 1/3, subtract 1 1/4. So we can do 2, take away 1. Okay, so I can just write that off to the side here. So 2 minus 1 is, we know that's 1. So that's 1 whole. And then we also have 1/3 minus 1/4. Well, common denominator here. If we look at what's my LCD, my lowest common denominator, well, if I go up by 3, 6, 9, 12, if I go up by 4, 8, 12, so we know that's 12. So I'm going to have to multiply first fraction by 4. So if I multiply 1 by 4, I'm going to get 4. 3 by 4 will be 12. And keep my subtraction symbol. 1 times 3, in this case, we're essentially just multiplying the first fraction by the opposite denominator, the second fraction by the other denominator. So 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 4 is 12. So this is really 4/12 minus 3/12. That's 1/12. Okay, and then don't forget for my answer, I also have 1 whole, which I can put in front of here. So my final answer for 2 1/3, subtract 1 1/4 is 1 1/12. Now here's your question. What if this fraction here is smaller than this fraction over here? Well, here's what we have to do. We have 3 1/5. Subtract 1 3/4. Okay, what I would advise you to do, first off, you should recognize that this is less than this. Let's just write that off to the side. We know that this is less than. You don't have to always say that. So we have 1/5, that's less than 3/4. So what we should probably do, step number 1, is we can convert to improper. We can convert these fractions to improper. How do we do that? Well, 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 1 on top. That would give me 16/5. Okay, and then subtract, of course. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3 is 7, so I have 7/4. Now what I have to think about here is, well, I will have 5 and 4. Well, maybe if I multiplied this fraction here, if I get a common denominator, so I get a CD multiply this fraction by 4, and multiply this fraction by 5, I get, well, 4 times 10 is 40, 4 times 6 is 24, so that would be 64 over 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, because I'm just multiplying this by 4 over 4, which is the same as 1. 5 times 7 is going to be 35, and then 5 times 4 is 20. So now I have a common denominator. Now I can do some subtraction. So 60 minus 64 minus 35. What's that? So that would be 29. So we have 29 over 20. And now we just have to ask ourselves, well, how many times does 29, how many times can 20 go into 29? Well, 20 goes in once, and then there's 9 left over. There's 9 left over. And I can't divide these by 2, I can't divide them both by 3, so I am good. And that is my final answer, 1 and 9/20. Another way to do this so we don't do as much math, we can do it like this. So I can do 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, so this would really be like 2 1/5. Take away 3/4. Now why is that? Because I already took away the 1. 3 minus 1 would be 2. Okay, and now what I can do, 2 times 5 is 10. And we add the 1, so we have 11 fifths. Take away 3/4. And that will allow us to work with a lot smaller numbers. Still, we're going to multiply this fraction here by 4, so we're going to get 44 over 20. And then 15 over 20. Still going to get 29 over 20. Okay, so we're still going to get 29 over 20, which is the 1 9/20. But it's just another way for you to do it. That way you got more in your tool belt, and you'll be more geared for success. So hopefully that helps out.